This episode of Techno Buffalo is brought to you by Gamefly. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the episode of Rettinger's Riffs. I'm your host, John Rettinger. This is the new show where I can just talk about anything. Up this week, there is a awful, hideous rumor swirling that Google is going to be killing my sweet, sweet Nexus line in 2015. Let's talk about it and see if it's probable, not probable, or maybe it's just some rumor mongering. This is Rettinger's Riffs. Let's go ahead and get started. So the rumor in question can be traced back to Mr. Eldar Murtazen, who is an industry expert who's got a pretty decent track record for leaking news. According to his tweet, he says, and I quote, "Nexus line by Google is over in 2015, winky face. Yes, this line will be replaced by Play Edition, current name, it will be rebranded." So before you get that guttural reaction like I had, like, no, Google can never do that. It is the worst idea I've ever heard. I love my Nexus devices. Think about it from a business perspective. So Google has to negotiate with partners to make these Nexus devices, which they usually sell relatively cheap compared to other unlocked phones. The profit margin presumably is not very high. Essentially, they're white labeling, which essentially means putting their name on an existing product line, with maybe a little bit of repackaging done in there. Sort of like what Costco does with their blenders. The model number is always a little bit different at Costco, but usually it's the same product you can find almost anywhere else. So I don't assume that Google is making giant profits hand over fist with these devices. They're more reference phones for developers to use and for Google to show off their next generation operating system. They're annual devices, always coinciding with annual software releases, usually the next big version of what Android is going to be. But monkey wrench came flying in when Google started doing Google Play Edition phones. We saw it first with the Galaxy S4, then the HTC One. Now you've got Sony devices in there, you got Motorola, Moto G, all kinds of other Google Play devices, and those are just standard phones with Google's native Android on it, and that's it, completely unlocked, used with any GSM carrier, sometimes even CDMA carriers, depending on which device you're using. And those now are reference devices that are showing off the latest version of Google's operating system. So with those phones, Google gets to sell them through the Google Play Store, presumably getting a piece on the back end. They have to do pretty much 0.0 work other than optimizing the software for those devices to get them out the door. They don't have to worry about negotiating redesigns. They don't have to worry about updates coming for those phones. They don't have to worry about really doing the returns or maintaining any sort of customer service on those. I know those sometimes go to LG for the last two devices, but Google is always in the middle of those things. Taking out a lot of middle players, these devices, presumably making higher profit margins for those Google Play Experience devices. So as much as I hate to admit it, this actually makes financial sense for Google to do. But don't fret too much. Google doesn't always follow the what makes most financial success, because they do all kinds of crazy things like Google Glass and building barges in the middle of San Francisco Bay. So do I think it's going to happen? I give it probably about 60% chance that the next Nexus phone we see will be the second to last, followed by the last Nexus phone in 2015. Just funny fun fact, it will not be called the Nexus 6 because Google does not own that trademark for it. So maybe we'll see another name, Moto Nexus, or if LG stops making it, Motorola gets the next one, or Sony Nexus, whatever it might be. But I do think the sad flagship Nexus phones are done. But perhaps instead of Google Play devices, will be called Nexus phones. So you can have the Galaxy S4 Nexus or the HTC One Nexus, which doesn't always seem like the worst idea. So Google giveth and Google taketh away. But we're pretty excited to see what they do, and I'm excited to see what comes next. Regardless, more Google Play devices, the better. I love native Android. Certainly you get more storage space also on those devices because you don't get all that bloatware on there. So thumbs up for that. What do you guys think? Would you care? Would you cry if the Nexus device went out the window, but if it meant you got more Google Play Experience devices? Let me take a minute to thank our friends, sponsors, and good buddies at Gamefly. They are the largest online video game rental service that offering you, sir, a choice from over 8,000 new and classic titles from across all consoles and handhelds. With plans starting at just $15.95 a month, Gamefly members can rent 1 to 4 games at a time and keep them for as long as they want. Zero late fees, zero due dates, and shipping is totally free. Once you're done playing a game, just send it back and Gamefly will send you the next available game on your list. It's pretty easy. Techno Buffalo fans get a free 15-day trial when you go to gamefly.com/technobuffalo, so give it a whirl. Play my favorite game ever, Lego Superheroes for PS4. Give it a shot. Go to gamefly.com/technobuffalo. Which trade-off would you want? I think I'd prefer more Google Play Experience devices than just a Nexus phone and maybe one or two options, but maybe that's just me. I want to hear your thoughts. Leave them down in my pants region. Love to hear your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Of course, check us out at technobuffalo.com for the latest and greatest tech news. Until next time, I'm John Rettinger. See you next video. What's up everyone, John here. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, I certainly hope you did. Click on the subscribe button right under me in my pants region to get tons more tech videos from TechnoBuffalo. We've got awesome unboxings, comparisons, reviews, recaps, and everything else you can think of in the tech world right here on the channel. Join the herd today! If you want to check out some more content, just click right over this way to see some other recent videos. See you guys next time.